And we've talked about the formula for success. And the first part of that formula for success was getting the right people. Now, Jim Collins talks about getting the right people on the bus. And that can be a very interesting process because some of us have already got a bus full. Some of us already got a lot of people on there that we don't know even whether they're in the right place. So, Elana, would you just like to talk us through, I've got a team. Some of them are performing really well. Some of them are not performing too well. What do I do about that? And how do I apply this getting the right people on the bus to my team, both now and in the future?
Jim Collins really challenges our thought processes on this, because what Jim Collins actually states is that before you have objectives and before you have a vision and before you even know where you're going with that bus, it's about getting a great team together. So it really challenges us, as you said, with people that already exist within your team. And normally, you as a manager or you as a leader, you already have your organisational goals. You know where you're going. You know exactly what you're trying to achieve. So it's a little bit like the chicken and the egg, you know, which comes first. So in answering your question about, well, what do you do if you have a team full, you know, the bus is full already? It's really a matter of awareness to start with. So who is this team? Who are they individually? What are their strengths? You know, we talked about this already when we looked at respect. It's about really understanding who your people are and what they can offer, and focusing in on what is going to drive them. If they're good at something and it's what they want to do, that will be a very successful outcome. So understanding your people is definitely the first step.
And sometimes we can find that people are in the wrong space.
Definitely.
They're sitting in the wrong seat. We don't want somebody to be a conductor who doesn't know how to handle money. And I guess that's an example of one of the ways that we could talk about it. It's very interesting when I start thinking about this though. If you look at level 5 leadership, it actually talks about being strong here, but with humility. So how does that tie into this thing about getting the right people there? Because sometimes that can be a tough process.
It can be a tough process, and I think part of being a really effective leader and a level 5 executive is actually managing this well. Tough, but definitely doable. So a way of looking at it first is, can you actually give this person the required skill? So is it my responsibility as a leader to actually give this person the right knowledge, the right skill, the right capability, so that they come up into be a highly capable individual along the chart that we talked about? So can they get that skill? Next, if you've tried that and that hasn't worked, no, they're just the wrong fit. There's nothing wrong with saying, right, we need to move that person out of the role. Then it comes down to organisations as to how do you actually manage that process. It could be that you find another task for that person to do where they fit much better. You know, their qualities, their skills, their knowledge fits. You know, square peg in round hole scenario. Find the right hole to fit the person into.
Yeah.
Last case scenario is sometimes that person is just not the right fit for the organisation, and a level 5 executive cannot shy away from that. So that's where that humility and strong will, you need to be strong to make that decision, and obviously you need to be humble and modest to be able to deal with that person.
So Elana, we've gone through that process and now we've found that the bus isn't full and we've got to actually get somebody to fill one of the spots on the bus. So what do we do there?
That's a good one, because then you've actually got the opportunity and the challenge isn't so hard. But it is important to really identify what type of person are you looking for? Where's the gap in the team? Where are the strengths? And this is where you need to be humble and go, well, that is not my area of strength. I need somebody else to take that role and put that hat on to play that part. Then go and recruit. So
yeah, okay. So it's really about knowing what my team needs to look like. And the challenge for us at the end of this frame is to go away and, forgetting the people in your team for a moment, map the roles within your team and then try to find the right people that fit within those roles. I think that's a great exercise to do. It's an exercise that from time to time every organisation needs to revisit, and now's a great time for you to do it for yourself.
And an exercise to take away from here is to, once you've read Good to Great, is ask yourself with your colleagues, how that works within your organisation. Because as I mentioned, Collins actually challenges the concept of get the right people on the bus first before you do anything else. What we're saying now is you've already got the else and you're actually coming in from the other way. So you need to ask yourself the question, how does that work within your organisation?
A great exercise.